Welcome to Ask the Medium. We've had a few questions sent in to us, and our first question is: there's a few different theories on it, but my own personal belief is that the body is just ready to go into the spirit world. It just can't function on this earthbound anymore. Depends on how you die. If you have a severe illness, if you die rather quick, if you choose a natural death, of course. If you have a passing over where you are extremely ill, you'll be taken into the halls where you will sleep for a very long time, and your soul and your spirit will re-heal itself, i.e. from the illness that you've had. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it happens to everyone. Some people just die of natural causes at the right age because it's just time for the spirit to go back into the spirit world. That's a total different issue altogether. You will live in the spirit world as we live here in this world. Obviously, do bear in mind we are talking about energy and spirit. So this table is real as I knock it. They have an astral body and their fingers would go through the table.
You try to move it with your finger. You can't push it with your finger. You're dead. It's all in your mind. The problem with you is you still think you're real.
But generally most of them will live there, will work, have different various jobs there. Some will become angel helpers, some will become guides, some of them will just move on to the next journey of the spirit world, which part level higher of where they want to go and what they would like to do, i.e. if they want to come back, if they want to work as a helper, if they're just specially going to look after a grandchild, or if they're specially going to look after a daughter or a son, then they will come back husband and wife, and particularly will narrow that field for those lovely people. As far as I understand, there is three parts to the spirit world. One part is what we call the learning halls, where we go to learn about our life, to learn about what we're trying to achieve in the other plane. The other part is what we're doing here now, why we're here now, what makes us people, what makes you different, what makes me different, why do I think different from you? Because all spirits are different, and we will take on to the spirit world what we've learned in this part of life. There is other different theories on it, but we do believe, I do believe, that that is one of the most parts what we do there. So we walk on, we continue on in our spirit life form, and we move to the next level. We're going to have another question sent to us. So this is quite an occurrent thing what happens constantly to people when someone dies who you love, if it be a mum, a dad, a child, a brother, husband, wife. Yes, they will try and contact you just to basically let you know that they're alright. You may even feel their presence, you may hear them talk to you. Some people have reported at them sitting on the bed, which obviously frightened them. You will get things that will move, say if they had a favourite photograph of them or yourself with them. It'll just move. We don't know why, because we know the spirits are moving it just to let you know that they're there. The other part is you could go to a special place and there'll be a constant song that will be singing, which you and that person loved that song, so it was part of you. You can see them walking through your house, you can see them sitting on your settee, you might not see them at all. A lot of times people have dream states where they come to have the final conversation possibly a couple of days, a day or so after they're dead, and they will be like me talking to you and you talking to me. It seems so real, and it is real. And then to top it off, they'll usually send you some white feathers. So if you get your white feathers from them, you know that they're safe in the spirit world, and you know they're there. So yeah, it's quite common for this to happen quite a lot to different people. Thousands and thousands of people have experienced it. Thousands of people who I've talked to have experienced it, where the loved one they'll hear them talking to them, shouting their name. They'll be convinced that they were there when they're dreaming and it wasn't a dream. They'll be convinced that they've seen them walking in from work, or they've seen them in the garden, and it's just their way of letting you know that they've made it through. Now we're going to go into another question now. This is a question I've been asked so many times. What's the difference between a psychic and a medium? Total different altogether. A medium will talk to the spirit world, will be able to communicate with people who have passed over. But nearly all mediums are psychics, but all psychics are not mediums. They work in a different vibration from the medium. They work on the person's energy what's in front of them. So i.e., if they're doing a psychic reading, the person who is in front of them, they will try and read all their information from their energy, where a medium would listen to the information from the spirit world. i.e., there is a vast difference in it. Mediums are basically inside the river. Psychics are outside the river looking in. That's an easy way to explain that. So basically, psychics can tell you about the future, but they're reading the energy what's around you. So therefore they do not communicate with the spirit world, where a spiritual medium will connect with the spirit world, will connect with the energy what's around you as well, is capable of doing both things. Most mediums, nearly all of them I would say in my opinion, have healing abilities too. So that is the difference. A medium and a psychic are working in two different levels. The medium is working with the spirit world level, and the psychic is working with the energy around you and objects around you. Now we're going to have another question. Now a medium cannot ask certain spirits to come through. You can't demand them to come through, it's impossible. We just listen to what's being said. You could probably get a case of where a lady wanted her mum to come through and her granddad come through, or her sister come through. It's only if they want to come through and talk to the medium. We can't force them to come through. They have their own will, their own freedom to come or not. You will get a message, and it's probably a message which you didn't expect to get, or a message which you needed to get. i.e., sometimes they work in strange ways where they will give you an answer to something which you want to know, or they will take someone else instead through for you who knows that person, and they possibly will start talking about that person, but no, you cannot command them to come through. I'd be very worried and very concerned if any medium says yes they could guarantee it, to be honest with you, because I couldn't guarantee it. It's whoever comes through. Most of the time it's generally the person who you want, which is lovely, but sometimes it doesn't quite work that way. One lady I particularly knew who waited 30 years for her daughter to come through, and one night she was just happened to be there and her daughter come through, and it took 30 years for the lady for her to come through to talk to her mum, but she got through at the end. Why, I don't know why it's more difficult for them, or if they just can't connect towards the medium, or if the medium can't connect towards them, or possibly they're doing something in the spirit world which is taking them years to get through and get sorted. But no, a medium can't demand any spirit to come through. We could ask, that's all we can do, and if they come through, that's great, but it doesn't mean that the medium isn't trying their best. Of course they are. It's just that sometimes that they just won't come through. And to be honest with you, I don't really know the answer to that. I've had one or two myself that haven't come through for people, but other people have come through for them, like grandparents, children, etc. And we just give what we get. Interesting question. Now we're going to have another question. When your pet passes over, I have personal experience with losing 5 dogs myself, a rabbit and a guinea pig. They do go into the spirit world, but they go into a different section of the spirit world, the animal spirit world. Depending on the bond what you have with your pet, basically, if you own the farm and you had chickens outside and they were just chickens, you don't have a personal bond with them, there's not a love there. But if you're talking about your dog who you loved and your dog loved you and you went out walking with this lovely dog and you know, you played with each other and you cuddled at the night time like most of us do, you know, I'm a big softie with my dogs, and the same with your cats and your rabbits, then it's a personal bond and you will see them again, they will come back to you. Now, previous experience over 50 times talking to my own pets in the spirit world and different other pets in the spirit world, there does seem to be a bit of a strange thing going on with dogs. For some reason, my particular dogs and other dogs that I've met in the spirit world for people who've asked me to do readings for them, seem to like chasing horses up and down, and I can't quite figure this out. I've actually asked Penny, my own dog, and apparently the horse likes it and they like it, so they're playing. But now they will come and visit you. You could feel them around you. I've done many pet readings with cats, dogs, an elephant once, which the chap was in the Tri-Cross Zoo. He was the head elephant keeper. Now they will come and they will talk to you because they love you just as much, because to you, you're their mum and dad, and you know, of course they're going to come and talk to you. They love you very much, and when you pass over, they're going to be there. They want to see you. They're just excited to see you as we're excited to see them. And I know for people who don't have pets, who don't understand how close of a bond which you can have with an animal, it breaks your heart when they pass over. But yeah, we need them with us because we love them so much. And yes, your pets are safe in the spirit world, I promise you that 100%. And they come and visit you and they're in no danger, and they have a lovely, lovely big place to live in the spirit world. And they interact with the other spirits who say your mum's over there, your dad's over there, or your children's over there, and they knew the pet and the pet loved them and they loved the pet. And then obviously they talk to each other, and they'll go and see them, and then they'll come and see you. But yeah, I love dogs and cats, so yeah, it's nice from over there. Lovely question. We're going to have another question now. Very interesting question that's been sent to me. Which partner do you end up in the spirit world? It's got to be the partner what you love the most, dearest, the most truthful is. But in the spirit world, there's no jealousy. So we do love many different people in different ways. We love our children different, we love our brothers different, we love our wife different, we love our friends different. So if we've been married more than 1 or 2 times, maybe it's the case of the first partner, the original love, died in an accident or died with illness. Doesn't mean that you're betraying them, but it is a very tricky part of a conversation, isn't it, really? Because you have, say, you married 3 times and you have 3 husbands there. Which husband do you go to? Wow. I know that there's no jealousy in the spirit world, and I know that we all love each other more in the spirit world. So my personal answer to that is that you would go for the original partner who you love the most, but you still have another 2 partners or 3 partners or 1 extra partner who you love just as much, because you could have been married to the first partner, say, for 5 years, who was your true love and your true spirit, and then you marry a second partner for 25 years, 30 years. It doesn't mean that you're going to love that person less than the first one. So therefore it would even be better if you sort of like all live together, and that would make everything nice and easy, because you're a spirit, you have an astral body, so therefore you're not cheating on anybody, you're not saying that I love this person more. Why can't you love them all? 2 husbands, 1 husband, a wife, 2 wives. I believe you can love them all when you can all live in the same house. That's my personal opinion. Other people might disagree with that opinion, but that's what I would do if I was in a circumstance like that, especially if I had a first partner who I adored, and say hypothetically she died, and I married another lady and I was with her for 15-20 years and I loved her just as much, and knowing what the spirit world is like, I'm sure we could discuss it. We could say, well, look, I love you and I love you, but you died and I was left here and I had to continue on with life to move on. I met this other lady, say her name's Julie, and I love her just as much as you. So is it possible that we could all just like live together in the spirit world? That would be a perfect scenario for a situation like that, but I don't see why not. But do bear in mind, this is my personal point of view. I actually have done readings for people where their mum and dad don't live with each other in the spirit world, in the same part, where they've been married for 30-40 years and they don't live with each other. So why can't you do it that way then? But it makes perfect sense to me, the way what I'm suggesting and the way what I believe it would happen. Because at the end of the day, we all are trying to move on with life, even in the spirit world. We're all trying to evolve. We're all trying to get to the next level. So I think that would be a very good scenario. But then it's up to the individuals who are there, the 3 to 4 people who are involved. But I think that would be a perfect way of living in the spirit world, because there's no jealousy. Thank you. Thank you very much for all your questions. Please send some more into the Star Centre and hopefully we'll ask some more questions. Thank you very much and good evening.